Hello, happy Wednesday. And the time flies so quick. It's almost mid of January. So you are on the Heart of Success show, and I'm your host, Larissa Vakulina. I go live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. South Australian time. And here I share with you some method tips, tools, motivation, inspiration, how you can create healthy, balanced, successful life, not only in your professional arena, but in all areas of your life. Today, I was just thinking what to share with you. And when I look back and reflected on the year 2021, I also noticed that most popular show that I did for this year was my personal healing journey. So today I would like to maybe contemplate or expand a little bit more about what my personal healing journey was and how that was actually changed my life and changed my profession, changed everything for me. And I just would like to maybe remind you that I used to run a very demanding, challenging business back in 10 years ago. For 15 years, I was involved in export of livestock and some meat products from Australia and America to Russian markets and former Soviet Union countries markets. So this business was very, very challenging, but at the same time, it was really a fast growing business that created a lot of opportunities for people here and in Russia. We have been operating about 3 or 4 offices here in Adelaide, in Moscow, in St. Petersburg, and in Kazakhstan. So there was a huge operation going on. It was a family business, so I took care of the Australian side of the business, which was to find supply for all of these containers and shipments and logistics and you name it, right? So as everyone else, I was trained in business schools, in MBA program, in Harvard Business School, about managing business, about how to grow professionally, how to achieve professional and business success. And all of this training, when I reflect back and look back, never ever count any of our inner emotional stages or our psychological presence or our spiritual connection. Never ever in these business schools we've been covering anything like that. There've been a little bit of like interpersonal skills subject, as I remember, but there was nothing close to actually teach us as a leaders and as a managers how we can activate and use our own intuition, how we can utilize the intelligence of our senses in our decision making process, how can we recognize our navigation system and really know how to trust it. So basically, I was running myself to the ground by managing and running this business because I always thought within myself that the needs of my team, the needs of my business, the needs of my clients, and all the markets that we've been looking after is are priority. They are priority, and me myself personally, I really never ever considered myself as a priority. So I was believing that regardless of what's happening within myself, I have to get up every morning and I have to go and do this, right? To manage business, deal with all the conflicts, wherever the troubles were there in logistics or transport, wherever it is. So that was my inner understanding of how we actually create success. Well, of course, all of these disbalances, or I would say deprivations that I actually was putting on myself really took a very, very high toll on my health and on my personal inner state. I was really feeling depressed. I was feeling unwell. I didn't know what's the reason, because I never had this connection of not looking after myself and not having my needs met. And what I was doing in business, I was never connecting it, because I was like, the business was very, very successful. I personally was very successful by running this business, but I never connected the stress of running it, the over working time, overwhelming feelings that this contribute eventually in my health in the form of deep depression, anxiety, and then eventually I got cancer. So yes, I got cancer. It was breast cancer. It was aggressive form of cancer, and so this was something that almost overnight I got. I woke up. It was such an event in my life that it almost like something hit me in my head, and all my life become available to me in the form of the reflection and review. And I was just thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm living my life for business, for my team, for my family, for everyone around me. But never ever I was thinking about what my needs are. Well, honestly, I even never thought about my needs. I didn't know about my needs, right? My needs were success of my business. My needs were success personally that was actually satisfying my ego, right? But in reality, in a truthful sense, that success never ever brought any fulfillment to me personally. So, and when I got into that cancerous state, I just didn't. I mean, like everyone, when we hear cancer, we got into this flight freeze, reaction of our nervous system, and it's a high price to pay. Yes, MJ, thank you so much. You commenting here. It is the highest price to pay for the numbness, for the sleepiness, for the unawareness of what and how we live in our life, and what choices we make or not make, what choices we make towards that success that is out there, and what choices we don't make to really honor our needs. This show today is about honoring our own needs. And if we start to ignore even little slightest longing or the dream that we have, we start to really betraying ourselves. And this process is, it's like it's a little pieces and the little steps that we ignoring, and it starts to accumulate. It starts to accumulate and accumulate all of these hard matter in our soul that is not really giving our soul nurturing. And that's what then creates a physical disbalance that we sometimes and many times don't understand, because our medical system and our science at this stage not able clearly to explain to us how these processes are happening. But I went through this process. So I am facing cancer, right? What really I can do? I was just in a hopeless position at that state. But what was happening then? I got this knowing, like it's almost like the screen on my mind opened up, and an inner voice was telling me, "Why are you surprised? You have never been living your life." And that was such a insight, such a revelation of my inner self, that was really, really profound. And when I actually reflect back and I was sitting there with this message saying to me, why are you surprised? Well, deep inside, I actually was not surprised because I was already suffering from depression, from anxiety, from all of these things that in our society really overlooked in a way that it is almost like, it's your own inner state, and everything that outside of us has nothing to do with that. So you deal with your things by yourself. Yes, it is our own personal intimate healing journey that we all have, but at the same time we need to start to connect what's happening outside of our life and what decision we make or not make, how that affects us, and how that implement, this is the direct connection from everything that we have in outside of us, because it is actually reflection of our inner state. And for me, I was running after that success, forgetting about who I like, even forgetting to give to my physical body. Number one, I had sleep problems, and number two, I was not eating in time or healthy. It was all fragmental. It was all whenever I had time. Sometimes I didn't have time. I also was always, thinking, well, if I will stop, I will lose this success. I will kind of, the success will disappear and it will be less. Well, and many cases I'm observing right now in a lot of business people, business leaders and managers and high top entrepreneurs, they have this mindset where they are clinging to their success, forgetting about their own needs. And this is the big mistake. And forgetting about your own needs is something that you're going to pay high price for. Eventually, it can take 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20, but then it will catch up with you and get you into deepest crisis that you ever can imagine. So uh, basically, how I approached my disease was like, sitting with this message of like, why are you surprised? You have never been living your life. And straight away, a day after my diagnosis, I resigned from my business. I actually moved to another place to live. I separated from my husband. I did all of the things that I personally felt not serving me anymore. I know this is very, very extreme decisions that I made, but for me at that time, that was something that was start to live my life. If I thought about my life, then I thought I need to really get rid of everything that is not serving me anymore. So so basically what I did, I accepted the way that I created cancer, accepted the state that I was in. I accepted the state that I actually betrayed myself and I didn't really look after myself. And I took full responsibility for it. So I was choosing to stay and have my cancer. I didn't really see myself going through operation or any other protocols that our medical system is offering for cancer. I thought that if I will have my own personal process, right? Like if I have my own emotional understanding and transformation of my mindset together with my heart dreams or longing, because I always was thinking and knowing that I would like to work with people. I would like to work and guide or teach people something in line of this, but I never could nail it down what really I wanted to do. So cancer actually not only taught me about myself, but it is also guided me through this healing journey to choose what I'm going to do from there. And I get extra education in the area of the energy healing. So I become an Brennan healing science practitioner and therapist. And now I work with people and I work with the energy consciousness of the people, starting from, spiritual, emotional, mental, psychological, etherical, all the levels that we hold, that we have in our energy consciousness system. I work and help people to get clarity and understanding of how they can too to understand themselves better, how they can start with themselves to create much more truthful, honest, honorable life to themselves, right? So as I changed completely my profession, I resigned from that successful business and I purchased my property and I started to build a different business, and I started to build that business from different place within myself. The mindset, the heart set was really different to build this business, right? So I would like to maybe just go over a few maybe 3 points that also been really really important in my healing journey, that helped me enormously to understand myself more. And the result of my choice towards my illness was a joyful outcome. So basically, I was just sitting and being with myself, with my cancer, and I was processing it, uh, you know, uh, all my behaviors, or all my decisions and not decisions, and the way I was living. I was just going through all of this, and I contemplate on how that contributed into the creating disease. And then one by one, once I start to understand myself more, start to honor myself more, I healed my cancer just simply by changing energy consciousness from following someone else's training or guides, or the way the society tell us the success is. I simply start to look at how I can create success first within myself, within my own inner system. And then when I actually started to do this process, one by one, all areas of my life started to change. It started to sort itself in a very holistic and harmonious way. But the 4 points I would like to share with you is really important. Was really these points were really important during my time of healing. So the first one, very important, is don't ignore your feelings. Even the whole world or the whole society, the whole medical community telling you that this is impossible, I really trusted myself. I trusted myself and I thought, okay, well, I accept responsibility and I agree, even to the extent that I possibly can die if I make that decision. So I was honoring my feelings, because my feelings been telling me, just sit with this, be with this cancer, and just be with it, right? So that was really really an important point. And I think a lot of people, out of fear, jumping very quickly and impulsively into the decisions of the treatments that possibly could create more problems, or definitely maybe possibly not gonna to heal or treat this cancerous developments that you possibly experiencing. So there's always time. And if your choice to go and do operation or have chemotherapy or radiotherapy is aligning fully with your heart, well, then be it. You honor that. I'm not telling don't do it. Do it. That what is honored to yourself, what is aligned fully with yourself. Well, for me, my choice was fully aligned with me. And that choice was not having operation, not going for any other treatments. In 6 months, I was cleared from cancer. Full stop. This is how powerful our body is. It can heal in simultaneously once there is some transformation and a key point in your energy consciousness system, in your interrelationships with your spiritual, psychological, physical, mental is aligned. That's how quickly your body will start to follow that, right? That's how quickly. Second point is follow your dreams. Don't prolong your dreams. Maybe you can get to your dream later on in your life, or maybe you can do it as a hobby. Well, what I'm telling you here is just please follow your dream, make little steps. If in the beginning you cannot change your outer setting, please keep dreaming and aligning your dream with little steps that you can take. Possibly just maybe, honor your needs first, right? Maybe even just change your diet, drink more water, honor yourself to get more energy to put your dream into reality. Because when we actually doing something that is not our dream, or something that is not in alignment with what we really want to do, takes a lot of energy to hold that artificial kind of way of working, dealing, and having an activity. It's a hard way. It's a lot of effort to do that, right? So the third point is like, that was really crucial and important for me. The third point is resolve and heal all your past conflicting relationships. Doesn't matter how all these relationships, if at any stage in your life you have um, uh, cut the relationship, or your relationship's been ended in a not peaceful and not harmonious way, please, you need to heal it. Because all of these relationships that are being ended up in unhealthy way, with a conflict, with the way that, I'm just leaving this and I'm leaving this relationship regardless of what's happening, and I don't want to think about it, I would like to forget about it, and the time will heal. Well, I'm telling you, time will not heal it. Every time your memory will take you back to this relationship, you will have knife in your heart. This is fact, and this is always available for you. So relationship can be healed in a very, very healthy, balanced, very, very beautiful way. And if you guys interested, how I can teach you how you can heal any conflicting relationship in a very, very quick and a very, very respectful, honorable way. So I give you at the end my number if you're interested in that. If anyone right now living in a very struggling, unfulfilled, unhappy, and very um, toxic relationship, please just resolve it very quickly, because this is really, really damaging and very dangerous. This is one of the criteria that we create our physical disbalance, is our relationships, right? So even a lot of time we just end up with the relationships that are so toxic, and then we thinking, well, I will create the new one because I have learned that. Well, if you not make a peace and not heal your past toxic relationship, you're never gonna to create next one in a healthy, happy, joyful way. That's gonna be another lesson, and it's gonna to end up almost in the same way. So that was number 3, and I think I have a number 4. So yes, process and heal your relationships within yourself, right? And there is ways to do that. I can help you with that. So be aware of your emotional reaction is number 4. We sometimes we so much not we so involved in a emotional reaction, we don't even see that we're reacting. I just will share with you a very personal experience. It just happened yesterday. I have these 6 grandchildren here, and they've been playing some game like soccer or whatever it is. And there was some kind of a very unsafe way of hitting the ball and things like that. And my ex here helping me with grandchildren, and he was getting straight away into the reaction because there was an issue of the safety, and start to basically scream and do things like being an emotional reaction towards the child. And of course it creates a reaction from the child, and the child ran away and hide it and whatever. And it was just really so uncomfortable for all of us. It was straight away very sharp, painful feeling around all of this situation for all of us. So I mean, we are adults, and we as a mature people, especially when we deal with children, we have to watch ourselves so carefully. And of course, that minute, I just said, you know what, you ground yourself, you take a deep breath, you go and you apologize that child that you've been in the emotional reaction. How many adult people would make that choice? Because we always think that we are right. We always right. And if we just get into the emotional reaction and start to express it in an unhealthy way, it never come to our mind to go and apologize, especially to children. So here, just when they apologize to that child, then it was taken so nicely, because the children, they are know how to deal with this emotional stuff. And many children I know around the world of suppressed this honesty, this honoring their feelings, this very healthy and balanced a way to explain the child that maybe there is something needs to be changed in the way you hitting the ball or in the way you doing things, right? But it has to be explained in a very grounded, very peaceful, clear way without having the reaction. So I named a few points. I mean, there's many others, but I think I would like to maybe leave you with that. We are so powerful. You cannot even imagine how powerful you are. Your body is having its own intelligence. Your each cell have your own intelligence for the life support. If only we will allow, if only we know how to allow these cells to have this intelligence to display to us in a healthy way, creating our bodies in harmony. Well, I'm telling you how. So if you really would like to maybe I'm just gonna to put my number here. If you are somehow in a painful state right now with your relationships, with your disease, or with your disbalance, if you are in depression, anxiety, or any way of disturbance to you, and if you need help, please reach out, because there is help available everywhere. If not me as a therapist, there's many different people who can really help you. But I went through a very deep crisis, this illness crisis, personal crisis, business crisis, professional crisis, you name it. I went through all, and I created successful business. I created health in my body without any invasive protocols, right? And I healed all my relationships, all my past relationships, all my current relationships are fulfilled. They all fulfilled, harmonious, joyful, happy relationship. relationships, and it is possible. And I'm not telling I'm done. There's days where I found myself in reaction, but I recognize it. I know that it's my way now to recognize it, accept it, and genuinely apologize. Genuinely, regardless of who is in the front of you, adult, children, babies, you apologize, right? That's how you help your body to activate the power of self healing. I would like maybe to go into the comments. Sorry, here. And it is MJ. I know MJ. Thank you so much. Yes. Back then it was all about money. Absolutely. And a lot of people are still living with this concept of money, right? Well, money is a good things to have, but they become masters of us. And when money become masters of us, well, then you expect your crises, right? So that's it. And most of us learn from our own mistakes and crises. But I would like to tell you that it's not necessarily to create crisis. If you can start before the crisis arrived, you can learn about yourself so much with the help of other people. To every action, there's reaction, absolutely. But we need to learn to have respond. We need to have response for any action instead of the reaction, right? Because every action, we have the ability to create a response, right? And if we have our healthy understanding of ourselves, if we grounded, if we process our emotions, well, then we can reprogram ourselves and make it automatic response rather than automatic reaction, because a lot of us, we just automatically, without even having any awareness or the stops before it actually come out as a automatic reaction, and it is always damaging, and it is creates a lot of discomfort for other people and yourself, and a lot of pain. So if we go and if we train ourselves to have automatic response, well, then a lot of crises, conflicts, pain, suffering will be elevated from your life and the life of their loved ones. That's I can promise to you. All right. So I would like to go back to my banners, and I will come back again next Wednesday with some important points and topic about healing, about honoring yourself, about success in all areas of your life. Thank you for support, dear friends, and I love you very, very much. Love yourselves.